Incredible job so far. You've been away for way too long.
And welcome to the final game out here at Hartlepool A, and it is a very, very big one indeed. It is our tournament hosts, South Africa, taking on Scotland in the men's over 55 division. It is set to be an absolute cracker of a game, plenty to play for both of these outfits. And it is South Africa playing from left to right in the white jumpers with green trim and yellow socks, and Scotland in the all blue from right to left. Immediately South Africa trying to get themselves up the field down the left-hand side. Not finding any luck on this occasion, but it is still very early doors. The sides are probably going to try and feel themselves about and do what they can to settle. You'll notice there are perhaps a few overly wet spots on the field. We had the watering system on just before this game, but that will seep away. There is very good drainage here at Hartlepool A. Right-hand side is McFarlane, who takes the free hit quickly. Upfield it goes for Scotland. A good tackle coming in from South Africa's Kearns. Quickly taken by Scotland once again into the 23. So good tackle from South Africa in there. Into the circle it goes, and it's dealt with. Albeit gingerly by the number 11, Rees Ross. Manages to get the ball out by the baseline. So it'll be a long corner to Scotland. Big challenge in the circle, and unfortunately for Scotland's McEwen, the ball coming off his foot. So South Africa will come away with a hit. So now the chance on the right inside. Bell wins the free hit. All the way to the back for South Africa, deciding to remain patient. Big ball through the middle, looking for Captain January, but coughs up possession, and here comes Scotland out through the middle. There's a man hanging high, unmarked. But the intervention made, and McFarlane's attempted pass is snuffed out. Good little change here. Nice little roll by John to the right hand side. Comes for Bell. Big ball forward for South Africa. That's a good lead by Hewitt across the face. And unfortunately for South Africa, just not enough stick on the end of that one on the far post by John. But a brilliant piece of build-up play by South Africa, moving the ball, nice little interplay. Unfortunately, could not add the finishing touches. Monks has options, decides to go infield, and it's a good pass by Linden all the way onto the South African baseline. But nothing there for Scotland, so they come back around. McNally keeping the movement going. Space on the outside for Scotland. There's a man leading into the deep space. It is McEwen looking for it, but it does come off the South African foot. Free hit to Scotland just inside the 23. All the way around the back it is for Scotland. Come down the left-hand side on this occasion. Good step from the South African defender to nullify that one. Good interception by South Africa in midfield. Play on is the call from the umpires. As the play continues. Scotland enjoying quite a bit of possession in the opening stages of this game. Africa. Allowing Scotland to move the ball around the back, not really putting a lot of pressure on the Scots. As the pressure comes, an open space out on the outside for Monks. Big pass down the line by him. Does find Wyatt, who rolls the ball back on the inside to Linden. Good tackle from the captain, Janari, although he's called back for that one, just tripping up Linden in the play. Big space on the left-hand side, just a little bit too much venom on that pass. Scotland, who are enjoying quite a bit of possession. Got South Africa pretty much pinned inside their 23 now. Obeys his options. Big ball. Intercepted. Scotland come again. Interplay. It's good to see Scotland willing to move the ball around at pace. Now coming through is McFarlane. Disrupted though by South Africa. Will fall kindly for them. Attempted overhead is given to Scotland, who come through the middle. Janari gets his stick again in the way. So free hit on the 5-meter line for Scotland, who are coming in waves of attack at the moment. It's just a sea of blue attacking the South African defense at the moment. Big ball across as raised ball, the call from the umpire, so a bit of relief for South Africa. It just seems as though when you do have a bit of the momentum, everything goes your way. So the 50-50 calls and 50-50 balls falling nicely for Scotland, taken quickly by Justice, who once again wins a free hit just outside the circle. Good work by South Africa to not only win possession back, but also work their way out of the back. Good individual skill. Breakaway chance now for South Africa. Play broken down by Scotland as they get numbers behind the ball. Reid Ross tries to go down the far side, but trips himself up as Reid Ross. Infield, Scotland. McNally, the captain, smashes one across the face, expecting to find one of his players there, but nobody's there for him. Africa ring the changes. Fallen on the inside, he's got support. Rolling with it is Bell. Sends it all the way to the back. Play on as the call, as the ball falls kindly for John. Nice little elimination skill from John. Rolls the ball forward and nobody there. So just a brief break in play as the player went to retrieve the ball. Available for Scotland on the right-hand side. Good step up from South Africa in midfield, and they do win the turnover, taking quickly. Ball is alive and playing. Oh, South Africa, but London sorts out the cover defense, although Scotland leave it straight back to South Africa. Space on the outside now for Bell to work with. Bell taking on London. Goes around him, lays the ball back nicely for Tate. And unfortunately for Tate, is unable to gather that one properly. One could say that we've just experienced a bit of a lull in play. Numerous turnovers in midfield. No real momentum to either one of the teams as passes doesn't quite find the stick of teammates. But it doesn't take away from the fact that it's been a high intensity opening quarter. There's still nothing to separate these teams. Scotland now with a chance down the right-hand side. It's a big ball forward into a little bit of space on the right-hand side. But once again, the South African defense steps up their line, and once they do place pressure on the ball carrier, they manage to turn it over. On the line, ball from Scotland, picked up by South Africa. Into the final 60 seconds of the opening quarter we go. Big ball all the way upfield, looking for Till. Gets it on the baseline, does Till. In support is Edie. Edie working hard. Does win the free hit just outside the circle. South Africa clock running away if they want to get a chance. The coaching staff wants them to get it into the circle, but tackle comes in from Fisk. Though it's for South Africa, and it's a massive hit. And free hit goes the way of South Africa, but the horn has gone to signal the end of the first quarter, and we remain goalless between South Africa and Scotland.
That waiting for the gun, the nerves are just too much, thinking about what is about to go down.
There goes the horn to start the race.
No, I think it's really amazing. And now the whole setup and people are dressed up.
We're giving something, I think, to the people is just fantastic.
The support on the side of the road is second to none, and that gives you the extra oomph.
Thoroughly enjoyed it. The scenery is beyond what I could imagine. I seriously enjoyed it. I met so many wonderful people on the way.
Really enjoying Cape Town. People seem to really appreciate artwork here, which is really nice.
Come and visit Cape Town. We are waiting for you with open arms. We welcome you here. It will remain a city of hope and opportunity for everyone, not just in Cape Town, but around the country and the world.
And he takes the tape.
Cape Town is open, safe and ready to host you.
Game between South Africa and Scotland. The end of the first quarter, absolutely nothing could separate these sides. It remains 0-0. And there's been a few half chances created, quite a few circle entries, but nothing to show for it. Scotland come through now. McNally slips at the top of the circle, and the South African goalkeeper just watches it go past there, and then realizing probably a little bit later than expected that it came off a South African stick, so tried to clear the ball. Couldn't get enough purchase on it, so it'll be a Scotland long corner. Scotland looking and just deciding what the best outcome would be. Perhaps they were expecting the ball to go route one directly into the circle. Here comes South Africa. Big ball in, man alone in the circle. That's a crucial touch of the stick of Fisk for Scotland. Otherwise, it would have been a one-on-one situation for South Africa. Scotland under a bit of pressure. South Africa send numbers forward. Big ball for Scotland is intercepted by Farland. Big hit upfield by Farland. Unfortunately, it is into a dangerous situation. So back we will come as Scotland look to return the favour to South Africa. It's a bit of a slip from Wyatt. Seemed as though he had that ball under control. So South Africa managed to scramble their way out of it. Big smash upfield for South Africa, relieving the pressure that Scotland has been building up. Scotland's attempt at a big ball down the right hand side is intercepted by South Africa, turned over on midfield. Attempted link up goes straight into touch. Africa is trying to work their way out of the back, but this high line of Scottish defenders are keeping them under pressure. Ball pops loose off the stick of Fisk, but he does what he needs to do to keep the ball going and in Scotland's favour. Janari steps up and wins back possession as the captain of South Africa. They now look to come away with it, looking for options. A little overhead. Fisk is there though to clean it up. And around the back it goes as Scotland try to change the angle of attack. Good work by Janari to work hard and win back possession. Big ball across. There's Bell. Bell and McFarlane, at least Bell and Farland trying to sort out who gets the ball. Is Bell. To the left-hand side it goes. A bit of pressure South Africa, but the pass does stick. 23 to go. Need a little 1-2 on the left-hand side. Good overlapping run. High strikers there. Down the baseline, good aerial skill, but Fisk pops up again for Scotland. Neat little first-time touch on the ball by Hewitt. Gets the foot of the Scottish defender just outside the circle. South Africa continuing to come at Scotland, striking quickly, and not fire for Scotland, so South Africa will have their first short corner of the game. What will it be for South Africa? Two castle set up for them. Goes to the second castle. Looks for the deflection, and there it is! The opening goal for South Africa. The opening goal of the game. A well-worked move for South Africa, looking for the deflection on the far post at short corner time. And it is Hewitt that gets the crucial goal that breaks the deadlock in this encounter. Scotland now having to come from behind despite their dominance in possession. Hockey is a game about taking your chances inside the circle when it presents itself. Scotland have not been able to do so just yet. South Africa, the one clear-cut chance that they've had, managed to score. Scotland have done this really well, shifting the ball from one side of the field to the other. What that does, it creates these sort of gaps for them to find the strikers, bypassing the midfield. It puts the South African defense under a little bit of pressure, but they stand up to that pressure on this occasion. But caught in possession, slightly trying to run the ball out is the South African defense. And now a chance for Scotland. They've got an advantage, but it goes the other way for an obstruction. Here comes South Africa now, 3v1 situation, gets the ball forward, but Black puts the left boot to it. And I'm sure that would make any football player very, very proud with the balance and the amount of power that Black got to that kick. This game has certainly opened up since South Africa has scored that goal. And there's chances now coming on both ends. Scotland go into the circle, drives towards the baseline, and then unfortunately for McFarlane, the ball wins the race over the baseline. Little hatch pass from Riedros to Janari. Into midfield to Bell, who does well to ride the tackle and win the free hit, just to settle things down a little bit for South Africa. First time pass down the left-hand side. Scotland step up their numbers. They do turn the ball over in midfield. A pretty good intensity this game. That's excellent work from South Africa's captain, Janari, to win back possession for the men in white. And a good overhead. Janari making the run to the far side, but the bounce of the ball skids along on the surface and just out of reach of the South African captain. Again, brilliant work on defense by Captain Janari, leading from the front. Breakaway for South Africa. Bell on it. It's a one-on-one with the keeper. And unfortunately for McLaughlin, gets the ball caught up between his legs. It comes off his boot. And Scotland are let off the hook. Composure shown by South Africa in defense, keeping the ball and winning free hits along the way. Big pass across, big ball. Looking first time for Murray. That's a fantastic hit. Plenty of venom behind it that Murray couldn't handle. Now Scotland do the same through McFarlane, and it's the same result, just on the opposite side of the field. Big ball forward, misses everybody. One-on-one situation with the last defender. Great tackle from Monks. He needed to make that tackle, did Monks, and he did just that. Just had McLaughlin gotten past him, would have been one-on-one with Black. Good work in defense from South Africa, turning defense into attack right now. Space on the right-hand side, but McFarlane interrupts things for our home nation. South Africa just hanging on to the ball as the clock ticks away. There's around about 2 minutes to go in this quarter. Turnover for Scotland, tries to go quickly, but up to the challengers, South Africa. Janari to the right-hand side, Murray. Bell, his options, rolls the ball forward. McLaughlin gets the little touch, but not enough of a touch as Justice cleans up for Scotland. McFarlane tries to play on, does McFarlane, and the umpire on the far side was aware of the ball hitting his foot. In possession South Africa, but January works hard to try and win back possession, and Scotland come away with it now on the right-hand side. McNally, big ball forward for Mickelson, who wins the hit on the 23. McNally goes back to Mickelson on the right-hand side, but comes off a South African stick that trips up Mickelson a little bit, and it will be a long corner to Scotland with around 30 seconds to go in the second quarter. Continuing to probe that right-hand side is Scotland, but tackle made by South Africa as they continue to run the ball out of the back line, and that's good play on that left-hand side. Switch of play available for them. It does come to the midfield. John through the middle. Good roll by him. He's got Bell on the right side. He does indeed go to Bell. Keeps the ball in, does Bell, just barely. And that signals the end of the second quarter. So at halftime in this men's over 55 division game, it is South Africa 1, Scotland 0.
We are fascinated by the mindsets and the habits that make individuals and teams perform at another level. Let us be your thought partners and transformational coaches. Are you part of a team and you are wanting to gain insight into what ingredients need to be in the mix to take your team to a whole new level of performance? Partner with us. We want to be your transformational coaches.
That waiting for the gun, the nerves are just too much, thinking about what is about to go down.
There goes the horn to start the race.
No, I think it's really amazing. And now the whole setup and people are dressed up.
We're giving something, I think, to the people that's just fantastic.
The support on the side of the road is second to none, and that gives you the extra oomph.
Thoroughly enjoyed it. The scenery is beyond what I could imagine. I seriously enjoyed it. I met so many wonderful people on the way.
Really enjoying Cape Town. People seem to really appreciate artwork here, which is really nice.
Come and visit Cape Town. We are waiting for you with open arms. We welcome you here. This will remain a city of hope and opportunity for everyone, not just in Cape Town, but around the country and the world.
And he takes the tape.
Cape Town is open, safe, and ready to host you.
Welcome back to the second half as the third quarter gets underway between South Africa and Scotland in the men's over 55 division. Play resumes. It is South Africa with the one goal advantage, compliments of a short corner goal by number 15 Hewitt. Was well taken deflection goal. Hewitt getting himself in front of the goalkeeper and the postman to get the deflection. Immediately, this is something we didn't see from South Africa in the first half, putting on a full press to at least as they try to keep Scotland pinned in the 23, which they haven't been able to do on this occasion. Scotland comes away with it, manages to get past the South African press. Normand on the right-hand side for Scotland rolls the ball forward. A good lead by the striker, McEwen. But under pressure is McEwen, and he spills position over the sideline. All over the top, claimed by McFarlane, and winning possession back now with Sharp, but Janari dispossesses him. Ball laid forward for Bell, who tries the first time pass down the line, misses the ball, so Scotland will regain possession. To midfield, McNally, the captain for Scotland, eyes up his options. Once again, a very good lead from McEwen. Puts the ball into the circle, but the South African stick intervenes. Big challenge coming in from Edie. McFarlane tries to take it very quickly, although it wasn't from the correct spot. The umpire pulls him back. Big ball in from McFarlane, intercepted by Janari once again. The South African captain has really put in a shift in this game, and a big ball through. Unfortunately, Hewitt not reading it quite well enough, and that would have been a golden moment for the man who's got the only goal in the game thus far. By just wanting Scotland to take the 16-yard hit from the correct position. Big ball on the left-hand side, intercepted by Bell. Wanting to change the direction and the angle of attack of South Africa. But it goes back to Bell on the right-hand side, who now rolls into midfield, and that's really well done. Get themselves out of the Scottish press. Reid Ross goes all the way to the far side. Ball pops loose for Hewitt, but Scotland cleans it up. And the advantage is there for Scotland. As they try and go now down the far side. The ball's for O'Toole, but Reid Ross makes a solid challenge at the top of the circle. Under pressure now, though, is Reid Ross. He's got support with him. The headbang gang that gets South Africa out of trouble. They get through the middle. It's loose in midfield. McFarlane, who's also been everywhere for Scotland, much like Janari for South Africa. Scotland on the left-hand side with O'Toole. Decides to come all the way back. Good little tip on the stick falls kindly for Hewitt. Was running across the and then throws the ball forward, looking for Till to make the run, and unfortunately for Till, comes off his body. It will be Scotland once again. Big ball forward. Looking for Wyatt. Just beats the outstretched hand of Wyatt. And under no sort of pressure, South Africa, they do spill the ball, so long corner it is to Scotland. They try and get themselves back on level terms. Big challenge on Reed Ross by McEwen. And the umpire having a word with McEwen. And McEwen realizes that he's going to get a card, so sprints off the field and will serve his suspension. South Africa's got the one-player advantage. Big ball upfield, intercepted by Justice as the ball heads into the beer garden. And the decision overturned by the umpire. I think South Africa taking a bit too much time to get that one going, but they win it back immediately. And now through the middle come South Africa into the circle now down the baseline. Rides the tackle, and that's good cover defense from Justice for Scotland. Into the circle, there's pressure for Scotland. Snapshot from South Africa. And it goes agonizingly wide. Fortunately for Edie. It's always good to see when the ball is available and there in the circle that a striker has a proper go at it to try and score the goal. But another green card this time goes to South Africa for that challenge. You wanted a little bit more impetus in the game. Well, we do have it come this third quarter. Loose ball for Scotland at the back. What can McLaughlin do? He cannot get there in time. One-touch hockey from Scotland, although Edie is there to nullify it, although gives possession straight back to Scotland. McFarlane down the right-hand side, keeps it in play, does McFarlane. Now getting the ball across and comes off a South African stick, which creates the danger, so with it, but straight into the circle from McFarlane. Well, the umpire didn't feel as though it was straight into the circle. Felt McFarlane did enough to move the ball 5 meters before getting into the circle. Comes off the foot of a South African player. And it will be a short corner to Scotland. So it is McFarlane at the top of the circle for Scotland. Straight hit from McFarlane. Good save from the South African goalkeeper, although the ball is trapped underneath him, and a little bit of a push comes in from the Scottish attacker. And it's South Africa that come away with a hit. They do take it quickly on the right-hand side as Bell. Chance now for a big counter-attack. Midfield is Edie numbers ahead of the ball for South Africa, but Scotland do have enough at the back. An unforced error, unfortunately, by Mallet, who had just returned to the field after serving his suspension. Good old tussle in midfield, won by Murray. South Africa happy to keep it at the back with Tate. To Bell. Farland. Under pressure is Farland and dispossessed by Sharp. Big ball on the right hand side is Linden waiting for it. He does get it, does Linden. But Mallet cleans up. Only to give it back to Linden on the right hand side. Ball down there for Mickelson, but is watched very, very closely. And South Africa come away with it. Only for the ball to skew off McLaughlin's stick. Loose ball in midfield, big challenge for it, 50-51 by South Africa. John just settles things down. Good patience being shown by South Africa. In his options, come to the left-hand side is January. Big ball down the far side looking for McLaughlin, but Linden gets the ball and wins the free hit. Linden has certainly been in the thick of things. McLaughlin shown a green card for having a look at Linden's stick and not really liking it. So Africa down by a player for the next 2 minutes. Big ball on the far side for Scotland to work with, looking for Sharp, but misses him. Falls kindly though for John. Gives the ball to the right hand side to Bell, who rolls past one tackler beautifully, does Bell. Creates a little bit of space. It's there now for Mallet. Big ball for Janari on the left hand side. Has his eyes up. Looks for the pass and unfortunately lacks a little bit of direction, does the South African captain. Through the middle comes South Africa. January on the left-hand side. He's got a chance. Does the captain. Good save by Black. Ball still there for South Africa. It's loose. And eventually it goes in. It takes a wicked deflection off of a Scottish stick. But that means nothing because South Africa have doubled their lead. So it is John who gets the second goal for South Africa, pouncing on a rebound after the initial shot came in from January. Reid Ross putting his body on the line, a sliding tackle. But Scotland come again. McLaughlin though wins it for South Africa in midfielder though spills it back to Fisk, and it's Fisk who gives it back up to South Africa, and Mallet just decides to pump the ball forward and tell Scotland to build something from inside their own half. They just need to be patient as they hold on to possession. Ross under a bit of pressure. Hold it up until his cavalry arrives, and that's good play, good patience from South Africa to get the ball to the far side of the field into a little bit of space. This ball comes back and sends it to Kearns. His attempted pass is not strong enough, so Mikkelsen picks it up, and Kearns does well to recover. Normand under pressure, good tackle from Till. Well, a good tackle to me, but not according to the umpire. Normand once again. Mikkelsen won't get past South African defense. McNally takes it quickly, gives it to Normand, back to McNally on the right hand side. Now big ball across, interrupted by Reed Ross. 30 seconds to go in the quarter. Swift. Of and the tackle from Reed Ross is deemed to be all stick, no ball, and a Scottish short corner it will be as the final play of this third quarter. That is the hooter to signify the end of the third quarter. So this will definitely be the final play. Single castle setup. McFarlane ready to strike. He's there for McFarlane, a straight shot, the save off the line. Ball still loose in the circle though. And two stick checks results in another short corner. This time it's the stopper that will have the shot. It's loose in the circle. South African goalkeeper Stenry makes the save. It's loose, it's wild. McFarlane has a wild swipe. It's all happening inside the circle. The umpire eventually blows the whistle, brings an end to the third quarter as South Africa head into the final break of the game. 2-0 up over Scotland.
That waiting for the gun, the nerves are just too much, thinking about what is about to go down.
There goes the horn to start the race.
No, I think it's really amazing. And now the whole setup and people are dressed up.
We're giving something, I think, to the people that's just fantastic.
The support on the side of the road is second to none, and that gives you the extra oomph.
Thoroughly enjoyed it. The scenery is beyond what I could imagine. I seriously enjoyed it. I met so many wonderful people on the way.
Really enjoying Cape Town. People seem to really appreciate artwork here, which is really nice.
Come and visit Cape Town. We are waiting for you with open arms. We welcome you here. This will remain a city of hope and opportunity for everyone, not just in Cape Town, but around the country and the world.
And he takes the tape.
Cape Town is open, safe, and ready to host you.
Hartlevel A. With South Africa taking on Scotland. Africa with a 2-goal cushion. Compliments of a short corner deflection by Hewitt. Opportunistic field goal by John. South Africa come again on the far post and goes agonizingly wide. Just needed a touch on the far post. And could have seen the third goal for South Africa, but it's not to be. And that would have been the perfect way to start the final quarter for our tournament hosts. Scotland with it all to do. They've only got one quarter to turn around a 2-goal deficit. Taken quickly by McEwen. And straight through the heart of South African defense, but what a tackle that is. It seemed to be not a good one by the umpire as Sharp gets it in, gets the foot of a South African defender and wins the short corner for the men in blue. What will it be for Scotland? There from McFarlane, goes to the left-hand side, looks for the deflection, and it's in for Scotland. They've gotten themselves back into the game. A brilliantly worked short corner, slipped the ball to the left, then it went off to the right-hand side, got the deflection by O'Toole, and Scotland have half the deficit. It is now South Africa 2, Scotland 1. Big ball forward, takes a deflection of a Scotland player. The keeper allows it to go into the goal, so it will be a long corner. Taken quickly by South Africa. They've got overlapping run on the right-hand side. Goes straight for the goalkeeper. And fortunately for South Africa, no touch inside the circle. South Africa coming now into the circle on the right-hand side, holding the ball up. And unfortunately for South Africa, not able to find a teammate. It will be a 16-yard hit out to Scotland. Big ball for Scotland. Looking for O'Toole on the right-hand side, but O'Toole unable to get to it. Looks up for his options, decides on the overhead pass. It's a good pass into midfield to John, who wins the free hit as Scotland were not back 5 when he received it. Big ball to the right-hand side for Bell. He's got Norman in front of him, so rolls on the inside, does Bell. Good overlapping around on the left-hand side by Edie. And ball just gets caught between his legs. Unable to get it out, so a few quick turnovers in this game. Continues. The challenge by Scotland comes off their foot. So, just to get it going quickly, does Batchelor. Nobody making the run into that space. Africa. Big overhead into space from South Africa, and the sideline winning that little battle. Big ball though from Scotland, trying to bypass their midfield. Falls for Tate, who cleans things up nicely and wins the free hit. Tate gets it going quickly. Continuing down the right-hand side, South Africa, they're favoring it quite a bit. Big ball for Hewitt. At the free hit goes the way of Scotland. Nice little tussle in midfield, a 50-50 ball between Edie and McNally. It goes against Edie though. Again, the big ball by Scotland. And there's a definite tactic from Scotland to bypass the midfield and try and find the high strikers with the long ball. South Africa fight their way though. Good fighting by John to win the free hit in midfield. Janari tries to keep the ball among the back line. Reed Ross on the line, good ball for Edie. Good pick up from Edie. The inside is John. This is good play from South Africa. Janari now the chance, got Hewitt up ahead. Hewitt has got himself onto the ball. And unfortunately for Hewitt, the hit goes against him. A brilliant passage of play that from South Africa. Showing what can be done with two-touch hockey. In Scotland, employ the long ball strategy. And just a clash of bodies. Everybody gets into each other's running lines. The hit is there for South Africa. Edie. The composure shown by Edie. Good ball through. And just pick of John. South Africa continue to try and put Scotland under pressure. Good pressure from John. The ball's loose for Hewitt to get after it. And Scotland now pinned back inside their circle as South Africa start to circle them. But good work from Scotland to get themselves out of their 23. You certainly feel that the home supporters here in the crowd are getting behind South Africa as the clock ticks away. Under pressure, Africa now. Game has been ebbing and flowing all along. What a crucial game this is if we look at the Pool B standings in the men's over 55 division. As the Netherlands currently at the top of the pool. These games are obviously as of midnight today, before all the matches were played today. The Netherlands topped the pool with 7 points, and then a three-way tie between South Africa, Germany, and Scotland. All three of those teams are on 6 points, so both of these sides have won 2 and lost 1 in the tournament thus far. So highly crucial is this game to try and get much needed 3 points on the board. Just make things a little bit easier in your final pool game if you can get through this one with 3 points in the bag. Big ball from South Africa, McLaughlin. Unfortunately, just after trapping the ball, it comes off his foot. Scotland again wanting that big ball down the far side. Continuing to probe down that left-hand channel. Scotland, South Africa lining themselves in defense. Looking for the steal as Bell. And it's John that does get his stick onto the end of it to disrupt things a little bit for Scotland. But McFarlane loses possession to a good tackle from Edie. As we approach the 5-minute mark in this game. South Africa cough it up immediately, though, into the circle, and the off-the-ball antics now is really taking its toll as Scotland takes exception to that challenge, but it will be a Scottish short corner as the far umpire now brandishes a yellow card to one of the South African players. So it would seem as though South Africa will be closing out this game with a man down. And if ever there was a chance for Scotland to draw level. McFarlane with a strike, and there it is! The goal for Scotland. The one that draws them level. Immediately, McFarlane has had a few goals already from the short corner spot. And this time he makes it count, smashing the ball low into the bottom stick side corner. And we are all tied up once again. What a finish we're going to be in for. 2-2. 3.5 minutes on the clock. Janari tries to win the ball back but gives away the free hit. So will either of the sides decide to risk it all? Pull the goalkeeper perhaps? Go for the win? Risk? Perhaps conceding, losing the game? Or will they be happy to share the points? Linden. Making sure. Comes back to McNally. Janari leading the defensive charge for South Africa. Fisk back to McNally. Under a bit of pressure though. And does win the free hit. Linden in a bit of space on the far side. Rolls the ball through. Finds O'Toole. And O'Toole can't keep hold of the ball. Raised ball by South Africa. O'Toole now for Scotland, just outside the circle. Lays the ball back for Justice now. McFarlane, the goal scorer. Kept in field by McEwen. But Reid Ross has got the composure. Although he does cough the ball up straight away to McNally. So 1 minute and a half to go in this game. McFarlane smashes one across. Good work by South Africa. Batchelor got his stick involved and must have clipped the small toe. Scotland remaining in South Africa's 23. McFarlane going across the face. And off the foot of Janari. McFarlane. Once again, McNally now on the right-hand side. Big ball across, takes a deflection off Reid Ross's stick. And it will be a long corner to Scotland. So less than a minute to go in this game. We're all tied up at 2 apiece. Will there be a winner? Plays for Scotland now in the P spot. Waiting for it as Wyatt. But South Africa do what they need to do to get the ball away. And Janari tries to take it very, very quickly. Not able to find a teammate. South Africa's got to hang on here. Good interception. Scotland managed to intercept one on their own as Nolan gets it going down the right-hand side. Few seconds to go. Got to smash the ball up if we want to win this game, South Africa. But Fisk gets his stick involved. And the final hooter goes in this game. And for the first time in 5 days of hockey action out here at the Hartleyville A Field, we have seen our first draw. It is in the men's over 55 division. South Africa 2, Scotland 2.